Hey everyone, and we've just had a 13-minute gameplay segment dropped by Nintendo regarding Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, so let's break it down and go over everything new we've seen and learnt.
Lockhart QT.
This gameplay segment was presented by Mr. AGI Enuma. Firstly, he covers the new Sky Islands. This is where Link uses a new ability called Recall to reverse time on the block/stone that's fallen from the sky to get into the Sky Islands and into the sky essentially. As seen in past trailers, this ability can also be used on falling boulders, arrows and more to reverse time on them. You can also reach these Sky Islands by using vehicles, which I'll cover later with a different ability, and Link's paraglider. Next up we have a new enemy type called Constructs. Essentially they're little like robots with little arms and a similar liquid inside them to Link's arm and some of his other abilities, which is really cool. They essentially, when killed, drop Zonai charges and a soldier construct horn. These enemies basically are very passive aggressive. They're essentially your general mob that you can kill quite easily, but we do see them quite through the gameplay and we'll have to see them more in the actual game itself. Next up is Link's new fuse ability, which can quite literally fuse two items in Link's possession together. A few examples in the footage were Link making a makeshift hammer out of a branch and a rock, which looked ridiculous, and AGI Enuma used this to kill a construct enemy. You can essentially make fuse arrows using eyes to turn them into homing arrows, so if you remember in Breath of the Wild when you tried to kill birds flying in the sky and it was really difficult, well now you can essentially fuse an eye and an arrow together to make homing arrows. He also used Choo Choo Jelly and arrows to make elemental arrows, shields with mushrooms that act like smoke grenades. These essentially confuse enemies and Link can essentially sneak away or sneak behind them. Speaking of which, Link can sneak behind enemies and do a new strike called a Sneak Strike, which is essentially like a stealth kill. Another one of Link's new abilities is Ultra Hand, to use to attach and glue objects together to make the vehicles seen in past trailers. The examples shown in the footage were using logs and hover fans to make a makeshift boat, and the ones from the direct trailer, all the way back in February, of the car, hot air balloon and more, can essentially be made using objects and these power fans. Using Ultra Hand you can attach, detach, rotate and move objects around Link at will. However, we don't know the full extent of this and the limitations just yet. Another new ability is Ascend, which is the one that was shown in the sort of reveal gameplay trailer, which is used to pass through walls and ceilings. The limitation of this being that there basically has to be a ceiling above you to use this. This looks really cool and can be used to scale cliffs by going into below caves and using Ascend to pass through them. This is really cool because in Breath of the Wild you had to waste stamina to get up high, scale cliffs and mountains essentially, and using this you can essentially cheat that altogether. But when going up an area with a high ceiling, it also looks like Link is swimming through a different plane of existence, which is really weird, but it's really cool. And again, all of these abilities have the same thematic use of Link's arm and liquid, so again we're going to have to find more about that in the actual game story. Next up we can also see that Constructs carry around fused weapons, and the one that uses a makeshift fan, essentially it's like I forget what it actually uses. I think it's a stick and like a flat object, and it uses this to attack Link, which actually uses it as a fan and blows Link straight off the Sky Island. Here, this also demonstrates that if you fall from a Sky Island, you can essentially glide down, as shown in one of the past trailers. You can glide down quickly, or you can glide down using your paraglider. Lastly, we also see essentially the leaked Switch model, the OLED Switch model that was leaked a while back, I think it was in January, was also now revealed to be true. It's essentially a new exclusive Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switch device, which will be available on the 28th of April this year, as well as a brand new controller and carry case. So everyone, what did you think of the footage? I thought it was brilliant. It definitely wants me to see more. This footage got me wanting to see more essentially, and I cannot wait to see Tears of the Kingdom. I apologise that this is quite a rushed gameplay. I'm trying to get this out as soon as possible, as soon as the gameplays come out. But don't forget guys, for more Nintendo content as well as Zelda Tears of the Kingdom content, stay subscribed to the channel and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.